Have you ever said something in anger that you instantly regretted? Have you found yourself overwhelmed by emotions you couldn't explain? What if I told you that mastering this one skill could radically change your life? Not just in how you feel, but in how you lead, love, and succeed. Welcome to the channel. Today, we're diving into a skill so overlooked, yet so powerful. It's the quiet superpower of every high achiever: emotional intelligence. If you're ready to stop reacting and start responding, to lead with calm even in chaos, you're in the right place. Before we begin, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. If you're serious about self-mastery, you'll want to be part of this journey.
1. What is emotional intelligence, really? Emotional intelligence is not about suppressing emotions. It's about understanding them, managing them, and using them as tools, not obstacles. Too many people think strength is about pretending not to feel, but this is simply avoidance dressed as resilience. Emotional intelligence is the opposite. It asks us to feel fully, yet respond wisely. It recognizes that emotions are data. They give us insight into our needs, values, and fears. Rather than being something to fear or ignore, emotions become a compass guiding us toward better decisions. For instance, anger can reveal an injustice, fear can alert us to a genuine threat, and joy can show us where our passions lie. When we learn to decode these signals, we stop being reactive and start being intentional. This is the true essence of emotional intelligence. It's not about becoming robotic, but about becoming deeply human with clarity and balance. In the words of Marcus Aurelius, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. That's emotional intelligence in essence. It's about awareness, both of yourself and of others, and it separates impulsive reactions from wise responses. Imagine someone cuts you off in traffic. Without emotional intelligence, your immediate reaction may be rage, escalating into shouting, tailgating, or reckless driving. With emotional intelligence, you pause and acknowledge the frustration without letting it control you. You might think, "I'm angry, but their actions don't dictate my safety or my peace." This ability to pause gives you freedom from being enslaved by momentary impulses. This pause is not suppression, it's the practice of creating space between feeling and action, allowing reason and compassion to join the conversation before you respond. Those who lack emotional intelligence often live at the mercy of their moods. They are carried away by the highs and crushed by the lows, living in a constant state of reaction. One harsh comment can ruin their entire day. One minor failure can derail their entire confidence. But those who develop emotional intelligence gain something rare: the freedom to choose their response in any situation. They can experience grief without being consumed by it, anger without being destructive, and excitement without becoming reckless. This level of mastery doesn't happen overnight. It's cultivated through reflection, practice, and the willingness to confront uncomfortable truths. But once you develop it, life feels lighter because you are no longer thrown around by external chaos. You carry a quiet strength inside you, rooted not in control of the world, but in control of yourself.
2. The power of self-awareness. Self-awareness is the foundation of emotional intelligence. If you can't name what you feel, you can't tame it. This skill goes beyond simply knowing your likes and dislikes. It's about understanding the deeper drivers of your emotions, habits, and patterns. Most people move through life on autopilot, not realizing why they react the way they do. They explode in anger without noticing the insecurity beneath it. They procrastinate, but don't recognize the fear of failure at its root.
Without self-awareness, emotions and behaviors remain a mystery, and we continue to repeat the same cycles without growth. But the moment you start identifying what's really happening inside you, you step out of the fog. You stop being a prisoner to unconscious impulses and start leading yourself intentionally. Many people walk through life reacting to situations, to people, to memories, but the emotionally intelligent pause. They observe, they ask, what am I feeling? Why? Is it real or is it a story I'm telling myself? This practice can feel uncomfortable at first because it requires honesty. You might realize that your resentment towards someone is really rooted in jealousy, or that your anger is actually a mask for hurt. Yet this honesty is liberating because it allows you to work with the truth rather than a distorted version of it. Self-awareness also expands empathy. When you understand your own inner world, you become better at understanding others. You recognize that everyone has hidden struggles, which naturally makes you more patient and compassionate. Start by journaling. Track your emotional triggers. When you reflect, you begin to see patterns. And when you see patterns, you gain power, the power to break cycles. For example, you might notice that certain environments trigger anxiety, or that you feel drained after spending time with specific people. This awareness allows you to make healthier choices about where you invest your energy. Additionally, self-awareness builds confidence because it anchors you in who you are rather than who others expect you to be. You begin to notice your strengths and values, and you align your decisions with them. Over time, this alignment makes your life feel authentic rather than performative. Self-awareness is not a one-time achievement, but a lifelong practice like polishing a mirror. The clearer you see yourself, the better you can navigate the world.
3. Emotional regulation, mastering the storm within. Self-regulation doesn't mean being emotionless. It means not being ruled by emotion. Think of emotions as weather systems that come and go, but if you build a solid foundation, you won't be blown away by every storm. Emotional regulation is about creating that foundation. It's the skill of managing intense emotions in healthy ways rather than letting them explode or implode. This skill doesn't deny feelings. Instead, it acknowledges them and channels them constructively. Someone with poor regulation might lash out in anger, say things they regret, or shut down completely. In contrast, someone with strong regulation can feel the same anger, but take a breath, choose their words carefully, and protect their relationships. This difference can determine the quality of your life because unregulated emotions often lead to impulsive choices, damaged trust, and unnecessary suffering. When someone insults you, do you lash out or stay grounded? When you're anxious, do you spiral or breathe through it? The Stoics practiced control not through denial, but through preparation. They rehearsed adversity, so when emotions surged, they weren't surprised, they were ready. Modern psychology echoes this wisdom through the concept of emotional rehearsal. If you anticipate possible challenges and mentally practice your responses, you'll become less reactive when those situations actually arise. For instance, if you know public speaking triggers your anxiety, you can prepare by visualizing the event, practicing your talk, and creating calming routines beforehand. This preparation strengthens your nervous system's ability to stay regulated, reducing the likelihood of panic. Simple tools help: breathwork, mindfulness, reframing thoughts. Emotional regulation is training, not talent. With practice, you become unshakable. Breathing exercises can slow down your body's stress response, giving your mind time to catch up before reacting. Mindfulness teaches you to observe your thoughts rather than be consumed by them, breaking the cycle of overthinking. Reframing allows you to change your perspective on a situation, transforming a perceived threat into a manageable challenge.
Each of these practices builds resilience over time. Like strengthening a muscle, emotional regulation requires consistent effort, but the payoff is immense. Fewer regrets, healthier relationships, and a profound sense of inner stability. Life will always bring storms, but when you master the storm within, you carry peace wherever you go.
4. Empathy, seeing beyond yourself. Emotional intelligence isn't just internal. It's also about understanding others, their fears, their motives, their pain. The ability to step outside your own perspective and genuinely see the world from someone else's viewpoint is a rare skill, and yet it is one of the most powerful. True empathy is not a matter of pity or simply agreeing with others, but rather a conscious effort to decode their inner world without letting your own biases cloud your perception. Imagine entering a conversation, and instead of reacting instantly with defensiveness or judgment, pausing to ask yourself, what is this person truly experiencing right now? This shift changes everything. It allows you to operate with patience instead of irritation, curiosity instead of assumption, and compassion instead of indifference. Emotional intelligence in its purest form is the bridge that connects self-awareness with relationship management, and empathy is the very foundation of that bridge. When someone speaks harshly, empathy asks, what might they be going through? Not to excuse bad behavior, but to remain in control of your own. This distinction is crucial. Empathy does not mean tolerating mistreatment or justifying harmful actions. Rather, it gives you a broader lens through which to interpret the world. If a coworker lashes out during a meeting, your immediate instinct might be anger or defensiveness, but empathy allows you to pause and consider that they might be under personal stress, grappling with insecurity, or facing unseen pressures. This doesn't mean you allow them to cross boundaries, but it does mean you respond with clarity instead of escalating conflict. When you can separate someone's behavior from their essence, you avoid unnecessary battles and protect your emotional balance. This practice becomes a quiet form of power. Instead of being pulled into every storm around you, you remain the calm eye at the center. Great leaders listen more than they speak. They don't just respond to words, they respond to emotion beneath the words. This ability sets them apart because they are not simply focused on tasks or outcomes. They are attuned to the human experience behind every interaction. A leader with empathy notices the subtle signs of disengagement in their team before it becomes a problem. They hear the hesitation in someone's voice and ask the right questions to uncover what's really going on. They understand that morale, motivation, and trust are built through consistent emotional connection, not just directives and deadlines. But empathy is not limited to leadership roles. It applies to every area of life. Friends who listen without judgment, partners who validate each other's feelings, parents who understand their children's fears, all of these relationships thrive because of empathy. At its core, empathy transforms communication from a transactional exchange into a deeper bond. It allows you to connect even when you disagree, to support even when you don't fully understand, and to maintain respect even when emotions run high. When you master this, you stop living in a world defined solely by your own narrative. You begin to navigate life as part of a larger, interconnected human story.
5. Using emotional intelligence to succeed in life. Whether you want better relationships, stronger leadership, or personal peace, emotional intelligence is the bridge. Many people chase success by focusing solely on technical skills, external achievements, or intellectual knowledge. But without emotional intelligence, these efforts often feel hollow or collapse under pressure. Emotional intelligence gives you the ability to manage yourself,
adapt to challenges, and build meaningful connections along the way. It is the tool that allows you to sustain growth over the long term instead of burning out. It's what enables you to maintain perspective in the face of uncertainty, to handle criticism without crumbling, and to lead without alienating others. No matter what your definition of success is, whether financial stability, strong relationships, or inner contentment, emotional intelligence serves as the foundation upon which it all rests. It's what makes you a calming presence in chaos. It's what turns difficult conversations into breakthroughs. It's the reason some people thrive under pressure while others break. When you know how to regulate your emotions, you stop projecting your stress onto others, and this makes you the person others turn to for guidance and support. Imagine being able to sit in the middle of a tense negotiation or a family argument, and instead of reacting impulsively, remaining centered and clear-headed. This composure not only improves outcomes, but also builds trust. People remember how you made them feel more than what you said, and emotional intelligence ensures that your presence has a stabilizing effect. In professional environments, this quality often becomes the hidden advantage that opens doors, inspires loyalty, and leads to opportunities. In personal life, it deepens bonds and helps you navigate even the most challenging relationships with grace. Every setback becomes a lesson. Every criticism becomes feedback. Every emotion becomes information. When you master emotional intelligence, you stop being a victim of circumstance. You become a sculptor of your life. Challenges no longer feel like personal attacks, but opportunities to grow stronger and wiser. Instead of allowing negative emotions to control your decisions, you learn to use them as data points that guide you toward better choices. For example, anger might signal a boundary violation. Fear might highlight an area where you need more preparation, and sadness might reveal the depth of your values. By reframing emotions as tools rather than obstacles, you build resilience that lasts. Success is no longer about avoiding discomfort, but about navigating it skillfully. This mindset liberates you from the ups and downs of external validation, because your sense of direction comes from within. Ultimately, emotional intelligence transforms the way you move through the world. You begin to lead with intention rather than reaction, and that is the true measure of success.
The greatest warriors are not those who conquer others, but those who conquer themselves. Emotional intelligence is the silent edge, the hidden skill behind every meaningful success. It's not flashy, but it's powerful. It makes you calm, clear, and confident. If you found value in this message, subscribe, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and remember, emotions are messengers, not masters. Control the inside, and you'll command the outside.